Mark, I'm losing my voice here. Like I said, I'm going to bust open that Jägermeister and soothe my throat there.
It wouldn't be the first time, would it, brother?
No,
Remember Germany back in it? No, okay, we shouldn't go there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the number here is 254-697-6633 if you want to give a shot. But we were talking to each other and saying, this is the season. Why do we have to wait to this season to be nice and all this kind of stuff and do good deeds? Why don't you open this up here with what you were thinking about?
Well, thank you for that, man. Because I know you know me that I don't celebrate holidays. I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate family or anything like that. And I catch a little bit of grief about that. But there's other people like me out there. And I think that holidays are a nice excuse to get out of work. But in my opinion, holidays should be every day of the week, every day of the year. Because if Mother's Day, you're going to celebrate Mother's Day one time out of the year? No. You should celebrate your mom every day. Say, thank you, Mom. You did a good job raising me, of course. Unless you're a bum. If you're a bum, your mom did not slap you around enough like she did me. Okay? But Christmas, I mean, it should be every day. As a good human being, you should be doing something nice for everybody every day.
Well, if you want to get really technical on Christmas, every day is, if you're a Christian and you believe in the Christian faith, every day should be Christmas in the sense that we celebrate the birth of Christ and what Christ has done for us as a Christian. And we invite any of those who have not received Christ to do so.
I like that, Matt, because you just brought up another pet peeve of mine.
No.
A lot of people who want to build that relationship with Christ and say, oh, I need a relationship with Christ. Well, Christ is sitting right next to you, folks. God is in the room. Go ahead and talk to him. They're dying to... No, I shouldn't say that. But they would love to hear you. Okay?
Yeah, you already did that.
All right, I'm sorry.
So, act of kindness. There's you were just telling me about somebody who paid for groceries, right?
Okay, so there I was, all by myself over at one of the local grocery stores.
Whatever did you do, Mark?
I'm telling you, I stood there in awe and appreciation as I saw the gentleman behind me actually purchase the groceries for the lady behind him. There's a lot of, I would say, elder people, people on a restricted income that really buying a loaf of bread, sometimes they're pinching pennies just to do that. So he was like paying it forward and doing a good deed for somebody. But as good people, celebrating Christmas every day of the year, maybe we should do random acts of kindness. Say thank you to people just because, they're having a rough day at work too. They don't want to be there, but thank them, help them. If the checkout counter lady is really backed up, you can bag your own groceries, people. Don't be so lazy and stand there and watch her thrash around. Help other people out to the car. Take the groceries out to the car. But there's other things we can do.
Here's one thing we can do is like if people go to church or people meditate and pray and they're trying to be good people, and then they walk out and they go into their car and they're driving and somebody cuts them off and somebody flips the bird to them because they're so angry being cut off, like sometimes can happen with me.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. We should maintain, that person just needs to get to where they're going a little bit quicker, I guess, than I do. So just little things like that all over the place.
I have to understand sometimes that not everybody is having a good day, and they let things like that irritate them. So me being a driver who gets frustrated, like you perhaps sometimes with special people, maybe we need to breathe. You taught me how to take that safety second a long time ago, which saved my life a couple times. And just realize that not everybody is having a good day. But if you're on the other side of that coin and you see that happen, then feel free to stand out there and challenge the guy. Block that nice lady who's taking her groceries to the car and say, yeah, I'm right here. You want to do something? You want to step out of your car? Okay, I'm sorry. I took it to a Grinch mood. Okay, sorry.
All right, hey Mark, we were messing around here, but we were talking about how this kind of segued into good deeds being watching out for the other person, not only helping somebody, but watching out for somebody. And we're playing around here, everybody. I just want you to know we're having a good time. But
it's Christmas. We're having a good time.
But seriously, when we're discussing this, and it definitely segues into protecting other people, doing good deeds for other people. And why don't you talk about that too? Because I know we've got scenarios and situations going on.
Just recently, it came to my attention that somebody was cruising through the neighborhood, and they were looking to find somebody from their past. Well, they approached this person, and they asked a bunch of questions, and this person said, well, I do know that person, and if it's a really important situation, why don't I get your phone number and your name, and I'll contact that person and let them know that you're looking for them and there might be a crisis situation, and we'll leave it up to that person to make contact if they would like to. That way, my friend actually saved that person from being exposed and vulnerable to this person who could be a stalker and who actually was proven to be a stalker and under a restraining order and breaking probation and kind of other issues. So just by asking the right questions and not giving out information, being situationally aware of other people's situations, well, you could have prevented a murder. You could have prevented all kinds of havoc. So just by being situationally aware and respectful to other people's space, it goes a long ways.
It's crazy, really, how one simple little mistake can escalate into a severe happening of a murder or a robbery or something like that. And so in this day and age that we live in, more so now than ever, it's very important to be aware not only of your situation, your surroundings, and the security of others too, because hopefully you'd want somebody to do the same thing for you. If somebody's trying to scope you out and check you out, it's kind of suspicious when somebody comes out of nowhere and starts asking questions, and you're like, who the heck are you? Why do you want to know this? Am I helping to the demise of this other person? I got to be careful what I say, what I do.
You brought up a good thing. In this day and age, which is the technical age, everybody has a phone, right? You got a phone.
Yes, sir.
Does your phone take pictures?
Yes, sir.
It's amazing, isn't it? So, like you and I, we carry around this attitude adjustment tool, right? And it's usually loaded. But we also carry around that phone. Now, when we're confronted with some really challenged people that really have bad attitudes, instead of reaching for that attitude adjustment tool, we could take that phone out, take a picture of the person, take a picture of the person's car, and actually start working on a database. And usually, if they see that, they'll either challenge you and say, well, why are you taking my picture? Say, because I can. You know, it's legal. I can do that. You're confronting me. I don't want to shoot you with my attitude adjustment tool. I'm going to just take a picture and record this, okay? That will either challenge them or it will shut them down and they will want to get out of the picture.
That's right.
And as they're driving away, take the picture of the license plate. You know, that sometimes is so good.
Now, look, I want to say something here. I'm totally opposed to the cameras scoping me out. I hate it.
Makes you feel uncomfortable, doesn't
It's
it?
definitely uncomfortable. I don't like being spied upon. It's just whatever. But in certain situations, it has its applications.
Yeah, it sure does. And Chief Dixon was talking about when you get pulled over to the side of the road and you being confronted by an officer or something like that. It's totally legal to record that whole session. They've got apps on your phone now to where you can do that. But I'm just saying that, you know, take out your phone instead of your gun. Your weapon should be the tool of last choice.
And what's my mathematical formula? Mindset plus mechanics equals response time. So if your mindset is clear, you understand all your different options, and your mechanics are up to speed, you know how to use the weapon, it gives you a lot more time to figure out what to do in a certain situation. And you don't always have to go, oh, situation, gun. No. There's so many different things you can do if you train yourself. So remember that mathematical formula.
Being situationally aware, not just for yourself, but for your neighbors. If you see somebody just cruising through the neighborhood that don't belong there, they've been through 3 or 4 times, nice and slow. If you see them taking pictures, maybe you should take a picture of that so then you can push it forward. Mm-hmm. And in that situation that I described where that stalker was coming around breaking probation, because of the information that was provided eventually, the sheriff's department actually took action and increased the patrols in that person's neighborhood. And I can't say enough about our law enforcement here in Cameron. They're doing a great job. Sheriff's Department, Cameron PD, doing great work.
It's good. Look, it's a big county, and there's only so many law enforcement, so it's your responsibility as well to stay vigilant, be alert and aware. I just had something happen last night. I was getting calls from concerned citizens because these citizens aren't as maybe enhanced as I am when it comes to personal protection.
Mentally prepared.
Well, they're mentally prepared, but their physical abilities may not be as what we can do. So,
right.
Just getting yourself alert, aware, having the proper tools and equipment, being ready at a moment's notice. You know, a lot of good, a gun or phone or camera or whatever type of equipment that you have to protect yourself, a lot of good it is if you got to go hunting for it for 5, 7 minutes or 10 minutes to get the thing up and running. It's got to be instantaneous. It's got to be like you hear a tone in somebody's voice and say, hey, I need you to do this for me. Or, hey, get me that. And there should be a communication with partners or whatever to say, I know that tone. Or they said a key word. So whatever I'm doing, I drop it at a second. I drop it and I comply to what the person's saying because I realize and trust that this person's code word is serious. I need to comply and get him whatever he needs or aid in the situation, so on and so forth. So you need a plan. You need a game plan. If you can't do it yourself, find somebody who you can call that might be able to do it. Your neighbors. That's why it's important to get to know your neighbors. Out in the country, it's kind of difficult because you live
With
acres
respect.
away.
Yeah. Hey, that brings up a really good point. Being prepared, especially some of these people who have restricted movement or disabled. A certain person I was doing a home defense plan for, they said, well, I've got the weapon right next to my bed, and I'm able to get out of the bed and actually engage the target when it comes to the door, the fatal funnel right there. But if I have to go to my safe room, what do I do? And I said, well, that's great that you have your weapon here, but do you have a secondary weapon or a secondary source of ammunition in your safe room to where if they're pounding on the door trying to get through, if you're already out of ammunition, you reach over and you get your spare emergency magazine and your ammunition there, blast through the door. That person now has relocated some emergency ammunition into their safe room. So there's a lot of things you can do, not only prepare for the initial engagement, but also go to your secondary, your alternate, and your emergency locations and set up your plan accordingly and rehearse your plan.
Look, you and I go back to the beginning of time. Okay, I know you very well, and you.
I'm alive because of you.
And you are so freaking detailed.
Sometimes too much.
No, but you're detailed when it's okay to be detailed, when you have the time to be detailed. But when it strikes, all that planning stops and you initiate and you act on what you've planned. So what I'm trying to get at, ladies and gentlemen, Mark here can look at a situation and study it and go over almost every detail you would never have thought about. Contingency plan, your 5-point contingency plan. What if this doesn't work? What if this doesn't work? And you may think it's redundant, but it's not redundant. There is no redundancy when it comes to safety and good gun handling and mental thought processes. And Mark, if you got a challenge, if you're thinking, I need some input or thought process, Mark here, you know what you're doing, man. You know what you're doing.
You said something really important. It's a 5-point contingency plan, and I've done this all over Africa and Iraq, Afghanistan. I've done it for the military special operations teams. But sometimes people get so complacent that they don't rehearse it, they don't practice, and it becomes a 5-point complacency plan.
Yeah.
And that will get you killed. So yes, rehearse all the time. If it's important enough to come up with a plan, and if you feel like your life is threatened or you want to be prepared, don't put it on the shelf. Make it part of your go-to. You always carry your wallet. You always carry your phone. Carry your emergency preparedness plan with you.
Now look, there's some things you're not good at. There's some things I'm not good at. And those people who you're helping.
I don't know anything you're not good
Oh,
at.
stop. But the people that you might be helping may be good at what they do, okay? But they have the common sense enough to know that, hey, I've got a weakness here. I'm going to either find somebody, hire somebody, or whatever to show me. So a person like you, let's say I'm a person who's good at baking, but I'm not good at the thought process of protecting my home, but I know I need to do it. I'm taking advantage of your skill of detail work that may look over way more than it's necessary, but it's not. It's because the person who is novice at it doesn't realize that every little step you take, everything that you think about, study, can come into play. Because if you read these stories of self-defense, true stories of self-defense, you're going to see that the plan never works. Who was that general that said, if you start planning for battle, you're going to screw up because it's never going to go that way? I forget, I'm slaughtered that. But basically, the way you plan never goes as planned when the first bullet's shot. It just goes crazy. So you have to have this contingency.
It's a guidance. It's a guideline.
Ranger Handbook, man. It's there for guidance. That's it.
Yes. But you brought up a good point. If somebody out there does want me to come to their home for like a base defense plan and they're an excellent chef or a baker, I can be persuaded with a good gingerbread cookie. Yeah.
Well, that goes for me too. If you're having a hard time with handling your firearm, and you want some help, like I've stated before, and I haven't really promoted yet, that is, we've got, first of all, we got a license to carry class on January 5th. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you need to get a license to carry, January 5th, Saturday at 2 o'clock, we will be doing that. You can go to the website, aaronsgunshop.com, go to the LTC page, sign up there, and or you can give me a call or an email, let me know if you've got any questions. But we got that. And so there's just all these different things. And I've got the ability to go to your home if you need some special training when it comes to using your firearm. If you want a tag team match here where Mark can show you the outlay of how to secure your home, and you want
We've done it for schools. We've done it for government agencies. You and I make a great team, and we can either go to you or you can come to us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just give me a call or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com. And really, we can talk about it, figure out what's best for you in your scenario, in your situation, and there's always something you can do. And even if you have a minimal budget or you have a large budget, there's always something you can do, and that something is way better than hiding underneath some fluffy pillows.
We've even helped train some of the small churches in the area and some of the large churches, that Austin gig we did.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of that, it's God's house, yes, but even God has his little archangels, don't he?
That's right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're running short on the clock, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to cut the show a little bit early, and I'm just going to reiterate that I do have a license to carry class on January 5th. That's Saturday at 2 o'clock. Go to aaronsgunshop.com, go to the license to carry page, and you can sign up there. Mark and I are available for counseling. Is that the right word? Not counseling. Strategizing.
Consulting.
Consulting, thank you. When it comes to security of your home, your business, your property.
Overthrow of small governments.
And personal protection, okay? So you can give me an email or give me a call. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. All sorts of great information when it comes to legal aspects, product demos, the works on the YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to that. A lot of good stuff. And if you have any special topics that you think, hey, Matt, why don't you hit this or that, give me a call or an email, let me know, and we'll try and hit it and get some people in here that are pertinent to the information so we can have a good show. Okay? Luke, take us out with some good Christmas music. And ladies and gentlemen, until next Saturday, keep your powder dry. God bless, and have a Merry, Merry Christmas.
Good job, mate.
Not bad for pulling it out of the ass.
Ah.